Hi guys, welcome back to Sisters Corner. I'm Alera.
I'm Holly. Hi guys.
And we're bringing to you Married at First Sight Season 12 Episode 10 review. I believe
how do you do 10?
And I believe this episode is called Third Week's a Charm.
I love how you know what. I never know what the hell. I can tell you what happened, but I never know when or how.
They always have a title for each episode.
Cool.
So the central theme for this episode was getting the couples to explore deeper conversations, and Dr. Viviana, one of the experts, was now dropping in on all the couples.
Oh my god, did you see her dress?
She's so beautiful.
Did you see her dress? No.
Yeah.
I'm like, guys, it's not all of us that are in COVID. Some people been looking like fire. She looks
Her dress was amazing.
The baby blue, it was the little slit right here. Oh,
okay.
I love it.
Or else we'll end up talking about how amazing she is. So Dr. Viviana, one of the experts, was now dropping in on all the couples just to get them to dig deeper into those intimacy conversations.
Right.
So, you know what?
Where do you want to start?
For me, it was such a chore to watch this episode because each couple is actually stressing me out.
All of it.
All of them.
I say this has become a cluster mess.
Yeah.
Like this season, I don't know.
All right. So let's get into it with. I think everybody's kind of tired of this couple. Let's get into it with Chris and Paige.
Let's just go with a bang and just let's get it out.
In this episode, we find out that since the whole reset from last week, Paige has been trying to contact Chris.
Yeah.
And she keeps getting voicemail. And that makes me wonder. I'm like, this guy is always on his phone. So why can't you contact him?
Every time in every scene when he's frustrated, you see him holding his phone.
He's always on his phone.
So we know you're always on your phone.
Yeah.
So why can they not reach you? Let me know.
Yeah. So she's been like, since the whole reset conversation, she's had no communication with him whatsoever. But now that Dr. Viviana's dropping in, lo and behold, he shows through. So when she met up with Chris and Paige, she basically launched right in and said to Chris, the person we met through the audition process or the selection process.
I was so happy she said that because she said it in an interview.
Yeah.
So I was happy that they already felt that way so early on.
Yeah. So she said the person we met during the selection process and the person we meet now are two completely different people. Like, it makes no sense. It's like you've done a complete, not even 360. Yeah,
and then Chris, what would be his answer, guys? It's like, so back in 1992, when I was born.
So he said, the person you met during the selection process, that's who I've been since 1992. Oh my God. I was like, ninja, what? And then he was like, after the marriage, the whole news about the baby.
May, I thought salvation, you only get born again when you take Jesus into your life. Marriage and wedding is many born again.
That guy.
He is a clown. He's a character, guys. Like, at this point, let me be honest with you, when I do watch the show, I just watch them like characters now. Like, I really just watch Chris and Paige like
I'm not connected
now.
to them emotionally.
I'm not connected to them emotionally anymore.
In the course of the conversation, so after Dr. Viviana said the whole, you're two different people, and he was giving that whole,
back
the
in
news.
1992.
Yeah, the news about the baby that got me in a depressive state, blah, 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 blah. And then, I love this. Dr. V now asks Paige, so why are you still in this marriage?
I noted that. I was like, she asked you a question, why are you, and do you know she never, we never got a response.
No, she did. She said,
what did she say?
She said, well, this is the person
I love the way she talks, by the way. She annoys me, but I love her.
This is the person that God has created me to be a supportive wife, and this is a covenant, and I cannot break a covenant. Dr. V asked Paige, what do you want? She was like, I just want a phone call. I just want to text. I just want to FaceTime.
And then he was like, oh, I want to go for dinner. And Dr. V was like, well, what you're asking is even more than what she's asking for. So what are we talking about? Like, you're even asking for way more than she's asking for. But what I got is that he just wants to do things his own way. When he wants to do it, how he wants to do it. He doesn't want her to have any say, any drive in this relationship, which is already, it's blatant for us all to see. She doesn't drive the relationship. She has no say. She's always at his beck and call. So
she is.
It's ridiculous at this
point. So after that, so basically at the end of it, the conversation with Dr. V, she's like, I'm confused because She's saying she wants a phone call. You saying you don't want a phone call. You want to do things in person. Anyways, we were all confused. Chris said he was confused. Dr. V was like, I'm confused. I was sitting there like, I'm confused too. So the next scene, they were doing the schedule. So Paige was now trying to draw
mad like at the schedule.
She was trying to draw up a schedule to see his availability. She was there. So what's Monday like for you?
Yeah.
What's Tuesday like? And then when it got to Sunday, he was like, nah. She was like, you can't do Sunday? He was like, no, move it till Wednesday. She was like, why? He was like, got a conflict. She was like, okay. He now says that he feels like they need to put God back in their relationship. Maybe if they put God back in their relationship.
Guys, let me just say something here. I think a lot of people, not a lot of people, and I want to say this, I want to say this carefully. A few people, some people out there use God to manipulate women in relationships.
Yeah.
Some Christian brothers, some church-going brothers, they will use God to manipulate women in a relationship. And let me tell you, God don't want no fool. Boo-boo. God don't want no fool.
Yep.
Okay. So we really, really have to be careful, and that's why you need that discernment of the spirit. Because when he said that, I like, it literally rang a bell in me, because I've known people and I've been in situations where people have tried to use God to like keep you in bad
like a
situation. Yes. They will dangle it. Yeah. Very, very toxic people. That whole line triggered me, because I know people be dangling that out there a lot.
But then, like the Bible says, by their fruits you shall know them. And if she was really trying to walk in the spirit, he has shown all his rotten fruits. So
there's been no good fruit so far.
There's been no
good fruit. So sorry, that was wrong.
By the end of it, they now decide. Well, he decides that he's gonna bring dinner over and they'll have Bible study. Right? So when somebody says that, do you not think that they will be leading the Bible study?
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought.
So my man, the next day or 2 days after, whenever he came back, he now comes in
with this dry, crusty looking chicken.
With a, you know what?
And the old thing was like,
he was like, I decided to bring Chicago to Atlanta. Is it Harold's best chicken?
I don't even know what he said. I'm sorry, but the chicken looked dry. They look really dry.
Is it a bucket of chicken that you're worth? So now gets to the point of Bible study, and he was like, he's been so busy, he didn't have time to prepare anything, and he's feeding her physically, so she should feed him spiritually. So anyway, Sister Paige goes to bring out the Bible. They're now
I love how she brought our Bible. She brought our journal.
For those that want to know what they talked about, check out Isaiah 55. That was their passage. And she was there.
But then did you not find that it did not relate?
It did not relate.
She was like, we're talking about friendship.
I was like, what's that got to do with Isaiah 55?
As the heaven is from the... I was like...
guys, you just have to check it out.
I wasn't sure, but then, the spirit leads how people the spirit leads, so I don't.
So she's there highlighting, taking down notes, and all of that stuff. So by the end of it, Chris is now like, okay, as my wife, I feel like I have to tell you. You say, because I
thought that unless it looked as if they were having like a good moment, they were having like a good time. So I was like, Chris, was there a need for Mercedes to be brought up in this conversation?
I think he always plays the game of, how can I blow Paige's world up today? That's the game he's always been playing, and that
needs to be the title of this video. Sorry.
How can I blow Paige? Every interaction is like, what can I do today?
Can you make like a mind? You know when someone is thinking, you know how they do that? Yeah, that's what it is. I'm sorry. Literally, how can I? She looks too happy.
How can I
blow? Yes, that's what he did. And then he went, so, in 1992, I don't know what other date is out there, 6 years ago, Mercedes had an accident. I was like, I couldn't figure out where the story was going. I was like, Mercedes had an accident.
I was so confused.
We're in friendship. We're at chicken.
We're having fried chicken. We're having doing Bible study.
Mercedes had an accident, okay? So Mercedes had an accident 6 years ago. Ever since then, she hasn't been able to drive or get in a car. And guess what? Brother Chris is blessing people out there with cars. You know, he be rich. He's blessing people out there with cars. He got Mercedes, a brand new Mercedes. How else could that not make sense, right? At that point, I will be packing the dinner, putting it on your head, like, and showing you the door
to the left,
literally.
Everything.
And then she's like, well, I understand what you're saying because, a chariot, a king needs a chariot.
No, so basically,
I'm done, guys.
Paige was like, okay, I understand that the mother of your child cannot be using public transport and all of that, but like a brand new car. Even if it's a brand new car, you couldn't start with a Focus. You couldn't start with a.
And we know you have
Honda.
You have not cashed out lifetime check. So, bruh,
I think he was just trying to brag that he's wealthy, and wealthy people don't brag. No, so I know you're broke.
Alera is not wealthy. We know that.
We know that, but that's what I'm saying. The whole name dropping of I brought her a brand new Mercedes.
That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous.
And then he was like, you know the way he looks with his face scrunched up. He was like, well, I'm bringing a king into this world.
Yeah, and
then you need a chariot.
I was like,
chariots of fire.
Let me tell you, at that point, Chris deserves an Emmy. I'm telling you, at that point, he literally, because I was like, I don't know how anybody, even in the real world, will go to their wife that they're trying to reset a situation and bring up the baby mama that's been the bone of contention for the last 21 days in the marriage. You do it so well. And you know what? Not only do you do it so well, you have a supporting lead actress that she don't even care either. She be rolling with the show.
At this point, they are paid actors.
Yeah.
Because like my thing is, it just shows how he values you. You're a piece of fried chicken and a booty call,
right? And
he values his ex on a higher level than you. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
Like, how can you be single and married?
We're done with them.
You can see by my demeanor, like I don't even want to talk about them. We all know toxic. So moving on. So let's talk about Ryan and Clara.
Ryan, I was like, I was for Ryan along.
I need a
but finally, I get it. Ryan is an hypocrite. I'm sorry to say that. I see what you've been saying all along.
The running theme in their relationship has been lack of sex, right? And we all know how frustrated Clara has been. So in this episode, in the hopes of getting the couples to dig deeper about love and intimacy,
I had another revelation.
They had that whole box of questions, and they were now asking sexual questions between each other. So like things like, what will be the thing that will make it harder for me to be intimate with you? Both of them, they were quiet initially. Then Ryan goes into
bit deep.
Trust, being comfortable with you, understanding and all of that. How do you want me to initiate romance? Clara's just like, just do it, just do the damn thing.
Yeah, she is.
So they were having that sex conversation, and through it all, Ryan was just awkward. Like he reminded me of like a 10-year-old boy that when they say sex, and he's like,
he was cringing.
Yeah, he was cringing.
He was cringing to the max.
He was cringing so much. Yeah. So Dr. Viviana pops in to have that conversation with them. And I don't know why, did you notice all the couples, they keep presenting, oh, we are fine.
Yeah.
Everything is going great.
Hunky-dory around.
We have natural chemistry. And Dr. V is like, okay, drop the BS.
Yeah,
we get updates,
I love how she goes like to the, like we know 2 weeks ago, y'all were doing this. So I love that.
So she probes further, and it turns out that
they're doing everything.
They're doing everything but penetration. So for Clara, her frustration is like, I've never been in a relationship where we do everything but the actual deed. Like, and to me, I understand, because initially everybody was like, oh, if
but
Ryan...
I think that's a Christian thing though, where we've come to that understanding. And I don't want to generalize everybody, but I do know that there are a few people out there that have the thought that if you're doing everything except penetration, then
that's what I said. A lot of people have that belief.
Right? And we even got that same vibe from Iris and a couple of seasons back, right? So I think that might be the understanding that Ryan is also working with, which is.
But the bottom line is, you're married. You're
you
married.
might as well.
You might as well. Like if you wanted to abstain,
I've never heard
you
someone
come on the
say,
show.
I am sexually motivated. I was like, who says that? Who says? But I was like, I am sexually motivated. Sex motivates me. I am sexually motivated. That was hilarious.
So people were like, okay, if Ryan was a woman, nobody will be coming down on him for wanting to wait. But the problem is, he's not waiting
to wait. It's doing everything except waiting.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, you're teasing me. It's like taking me to a buffet and telling me I can't eat, but I can smell the food.
Yeah. One thing that I noted was that she mentioned that in a past relationship, they were only having sex 3 times
a year.
And I'm like, I don't know.
Now, she was making the comparison that, she's always had sex in a relationship, and in her last relationship, they only had like 3 times a year. And she feels, for her, having sex with her makes her feel desired and wanted. So she's afraid that same pattern is going to repeat with Ryan.
But then I was like, why was her last boyfriend only having sex with her 3 times a year? I was just like,
she's picking the wrong man, and
I hope our coochie don't smell. That was, sorry guys.
Is that the revelation
That was the revelation I had. I was like, why is he doing everything? If he's doing almost everything. But I'm serious. Something is off. If he's doing almost everything except.
Yeah, but almost everything could be everything to her as well, except for the penetration inside. So her coochie can't smell.
But
because let me tell you something. Some people like to lick the plates. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, but what if he's not doing that either? Which is why she's so frustrated.
Clara, I can't
help you, because as I was listening to that, I was like, well, now it's become like a pattern. 2 guys, the other one 3 times a year. You're so beautiful. Like, what is it? Like.
So in hopes to allow her to have a safe space to voice her thoughts and opinion, Dr. Viviana now tells Ryan to leave the room so she can have a one-on-one with Clara. She could sense that she's holding back.
Yeah, she's holding back for sure.
And that's when Clara really became vulnerable, and she was like, he's the kind of person that he waits for the butterflies and the rainbows and the unicorns so that have that foundation of love before he can connect with you physically, intimately, whereas she needs to connect with you physically to have that rainbows and butterflies and everything. So Dr. Viviana was like, do you think Ryan places sex on a pedestal? She was like,
she said, Ryan a virgin.
Yeah, so
that was
I said that. My other thought is, I still feel like he's trapped in the closet.
Right.
I think he's trapped in the closet.
There's a lot of thought right here. Guys, let us know what your thought
Let us know
on
what you
this
think.
issue. What do you think? Do you think it's a Clara issue or a Ryan issue? I do know that maybe it is a Ryan issue because it seems like she wants to do it and he doesn't want to.
No, I think it's both of their issue. Right. Because from this episode, we find out that Clara,
she doesn't have
a detachment
from sex. Yeah,
remember last week you were like, she's just giving it away. That's how she approaches sex. So there's no emotional connection.
Nothing.
And she now said
that was a bit worrisome for me.
So she now said that if he's waiting for that connection before we have sex, I'm afraid he's not going to get that with me because I've never ever experienced any emotional connection with sex. And then it makes me feel like what has happened to her to make her feel traumatized and detach herself emotionally from sex.
Right.
I definitely think
I agree. I think that's something they need to delve into.
Yeah.
I wish Dr. V had asked her more along the line that why is it that you think there's nothing else to sex than just a physical aspect to it? Like let's understand that and let's see how can you maybe start to develop emotional involvement in it, and that might even make.
They pair Ryan. Maybe Ryan senses that, she's a girl that's been around the block. Like, she's a girl that doesn't, not around the block, but she's a girl that doesn't have that emotional connection with. And he's trying to, he's trying to approach her from a place of respect. That when we do it, I want it to be different from your past.
Right. But I just want to say that where Ryan has honestly lost me is because
doing everything.
that's the only. To be honest, that's the only why I'm calling her an hypocrite. But his prerogative to want to have sex or not. He doesn't have to. Yeah. And when he said we've only known each other for 3 weeks. Yeah. Which is, to be honest, is ridiculous to be feeling. She's pressuring him. This is ridiculous.
But then you have to remember they're living together.
It's even just the fact. It's not even just because they're living together. The fact that you're making her do everything, like you said, don't take me to the buffet and say I can't eat. That's wrong.
But another thing I want to say is that the 3 weeks is not like 3 weeks in a normal dating world where I'm not with you constantly. Right. They're living together, so their 3 weeks in the real world would be like 2 months.
Right.
Do you understand?
But even 2 months, some people don't do it.
We know some people don't, right?
I know
there's the 90-day rule for some people.
Right. So I'm just saying, yeah.
So I think their bone of contention is the fact that Ryan places emotional value on sex, and for Clara, sex is just sex. Let's not forget that these two still have fundamentally different values. Right. Ryan is religious, she's not. There's just certain things that I feel like you can't compromise on.
Right. And your faith is one of those things.
Faith is one of those things, exactly.
You would always struggle.
They've got a lot of disconnect apart from sex.
Apart from sex. And I'm just sad that we're not delving into that.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to those people. Good luck to those people at that point.
Oh, right. Let's move to Trump.
Eric and Jeannie.
Trumper supporter.
Trump. Okay, I'm not Trump. I am so surprised that, guys, I need to learn, like, honestly, I didn't know Eric was a Trump supporter.
Okay, so he didn't really say, quote unquote, I support Trump. But based on his decor, based on his beliefs, we could allude that he's a Trump supporter.
I honestly, even when it was talking about, the whole thing with me and Jane, guys, let me tell you, this is what Eric was doing that I really wanted to take.
I felt like it was a pantomime
from the wall and reap it. I was like, brother, keep your hands in your personal space. When he's talking, and I always like that too. She's very.
I'm very
But at least she's doing it in front. Imagine me talking. Eric is always like, when he's describing stuff, he's always like that. I'm like, bro, keep your hands to yourself. Like
us hand talkers alone.
No, I don't.
Do not try to shame
if I was Ginny, you know our African parents, I would just swap you. I would be like, what are you doing? Like, keep your hands to yourself. I don't want your hands in my face. But yeah, I didn't really deduce it when it was talking to you. I knew there was a lot of hand gesture going on. Maybe I was too focused on that. But I knew that it was talking about the fact that, we have different views on something, but he didn't state what it was. And it was like, I can accept her view. I don't want to change her, but she's the one that has problems with my view. And at that point, when I not got the understanding that it was being the whole Trump, it really changed my whole perspective of the conversation. I was like, whoa.
So let me ask this question. Do you think a couple that have two extreme opposite political views, do you think they can, make it? Do you think they can have a successful union, a successful marriage?
So I think
because that's the problem we're having with Gina.
That's a big problem because for me, to be honest,
I don't think so.
For me, I don't have a lot of passion for politics. I think it's the level of passion they do have for those political parties. Yeah. I think that's when we're gonna find out if they're gonna be having issues or not.
No, they will because if you're the kind of person that your political views bleed into your lifestyle,
that's what I mean.
That's where the problem is going to be. Another disagreement they had was, Virginia basically says, and I now notice that this girl is actually profound or deep in some ways. Because
I think she is deep. Oh my God, that was the first thing I said. I said, oh my God, Ginny is way deeper. She asks questions.
She's the one that's always asking those deep questions.
Scenario-based questions. She's always asking you, how do you feel about it? So what if I am doing this? Yeah. And then how would you feel? Oh my God.
So I definitely feel like production is editing her to make her look like a party girl, drunkard.
Right.
And that's all we're seeing, and we're judging her based on that. But this episode and the previous episode is making me realize she's the one that's picking up on the fact that they have avoidance issues. They're not talking about the real
They are the only couple that I feel like they're having conversations, and I love it. Like, even though they're not my
they're having conversations when she brings things up. So she was basically asking conversations like, you know, what do you feel about sharing passwords? I think Eric was now playing dumb, like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, do you mean like my phone? You can look through my phone now if you want. But that's not what she's asking. She's just
she wants your voters
she's trying to know your level of transparency. She's now asking, who can I text? Like, you know, since he still has that issue with male friends, her having male friends.
And then you know what pissed me off when he replied? And he was like, well, I know about those two male friends, and then we can keep those. Who are you to tell me? We're gonna just keep to. Eric is a money train spirit. That's the new name I have for him. He's a money train spirit. So now you've match registered and like, oh, like it's like vetting a friendship. Oh, these are the only ones who are gonna allow you to like their picture on Facebook. These are the only ones you're gonna be able to.
So she was like, who can I text? Who can I follow on social media? Like my ex is like, and he was like, wait, why would you be following your ex? And that's another thing. Let's what do you guys think? Do you think that you should be following your ex on social media and liking their pictures?
So I feel like anytime spit has been exchanged emotionally, I have a whole definition for this. We are not going to be following each other. Okay? Okay. Well, but if we exchange spit and we're drunk, maybe we can follow each other. We'll review it. But I feel like anytime you've been in a relationship with someone and there's been emotions, and I feel like you should not just. I don't think it's advisable anymore.
Yeah. I was on the same wavelength with you,
right?
And then I was like, Alera, don't be a hypocrite. You're still following your exes on social media. But that's genuinely because I forgot to unfollow. Really and truly, I don't even check for them. Even their stories or anything, I don't check for them.
But it's kind of like the devil can always, so far they're there, it can always
it's true.
create like a fit old, right? It doesn't have to be now, it doesn't, God forbid, it could be 10 years down the line and I could turn to a whole emotional affair, right? Like remember that time, that's how you start
going. Or when they post a picture and it now brings back memories.
Exactly. It's so you just want to make sure that see no evil, hear no evil, nothing. It's a whole done.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, so that's what it is. But I think at the end of the day, it's everyone's personal decision. I think that's just the way I am as well.
Let us know what you think. Should you be following your ex on social media? Is it advisable to follow them? Should you be liking their pics?
I feel like liking their pics is not a whole lot of mess, isn't it? That's what I'm
trying to think. It depends on what kind of pictures, because the pictures that I've liked is their family pictures.
I don't care.
Because I don't know. Like I'm happy. I'm not gonna hold on to anything. So if you,
I'm not holding on to anything.
But I ain't gonna like your pics.
It could be walking down the street,
and I wouldn't know who it is. Sorry to that man.
That's the whole vibe on that. Like I wish them nothing but the best. If they reach out to me and they need anything, I will do it. But I'm not. There's nothing. Really? What?
I don't think I would do if they reach out to me.
No. But if it's something that is very important, like life and death, or something like Alera, but you say you forget.
I'm the last person on your list. You should call it life and death.
But that's what I'm saying, that for them to reach out to you, it mustn't have been easy, right? You must be the last person on their list.
So, I'm not there,
guys. I'm done. I thought I would not follow, but I would still be helpful. But look, they follow.
That's how you know.
They follow, but they ain't gonna do nothing. They ain't gonna help. Well, now you know.
If y'all are watching this, and I know you probably are, don't call me in a life and death situation. I ain't gonna help you. I don't know who you are. Who's next? Brianna and Vincent. Huh? Guys, when I tell you throughout this episode, I was sitting on the edge of my seat.
You're waiting for Vincent to explode.
Because I'm like...
Yeah, I don't really have much to say about them. They've gone back to their whole I love you face. And then Dr. V pointed out the same thing that I said, that he wanted to be smooth and suave for her.
She was like, it's okay to be champagne Vinny and not champagne Pappy. I was like, Dr. V, you be out there. Okay. Yeah, trying to be champagne Pappy.
Yeah. And you know, I also thought it was good for Vinny to understand that it seemed like he understands that he does blow up, and he was like, oh, I know I ain't 7. I was like, oh, thank God you know you're not 7. That's good that you understand that you're not 7. And I was so funny. It was hilarious to me when he said, oh, what I love about us is when we're silly. I was like, really?
I was confused because because he asked for somebody that was goofy, playful, which is everything she is, and then you're blowing up. For me, I still think I'm unsure about them. Yeah. One of the questions they had was, what is the one thing that you do that irritates me? And this is why I now feel that Brianna's walking on eggshells. Right. Every time she retreats and talking that annoying baby voice. Right. It's annoying.
It's annoying.
So this was the chance to be like, I don't like it when you
and then she said one silly thing.
She said, you know when I get in the shower and the shower head, and then when I switch it on, the water just hits me because you're taller than me, and then I was just like,
yeah, you're stretching, you're reaching. Really? Yeah, she couldn't come up with something like.
That's the one thing
I'm gonna reach. I could tell you what upsets you about him, but okay.
You're not gonna pick up on his temper tantrum, you know? Then when they had when he set up that blindfold game for her. And then I think the question was, he asked the question, if there was one thing about me that you could change, what would it be? This one, I was sitting on the edge of my seat. I was like, because she was like, your head. And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, oh my God. He's about to blow up. Yeah. But then she was like, no, I mean your hair.
And I was like, oh, okay.
I don't know. She's walking on eggshells. Yeah. I'm now seeing a pattern of where he blows up and buys her presents because
it's like that whole
date, the whole date thing that
where they beat you out and they blow.
That's the pattern I'm seeing. I could be wrong. He could genuinely be a nice guy, but I just feel like if he doesn't
get this under control, she would get tired. I'm tired,
and it could escalate.
And I've only been watching for a couple of weeks, but
that's what I had.
Me too. Yeah. I didn't have a lot. And then the last couple we're gonna be talking about is my peeps. These people that I'm just tired of them at this point. Ailey and Jacob. So what did you think in this episode?
I just love how Jacob was side-eyeing her through the whole conversation.
Jacob is like that grandma at a family party. He was just like, when they're telling all the stories that the grandma knows that they're fake, and Jacob just like, I'm gonna let you keep doing what you're doing.
It reminded me of, girl, why the F you lying? Why you always lying?
Why was Ailey crying?
So this episode when Dr. Viviana comes to visit them, she now says how she feels like she's been doing a lot of work. I
was like, where? Like this was really confusing me.
And then the flashback was from last episode when she bought him and Jacob was like, even me too, I was like,
she was like, she's been doing the work. What work?
And then she was like, she's been doing the work, and then she gets tired, and I was like, Girl, why you lying?
Honestly, it's simple. I don't even think there's much to divulge in this situation.
No.
She doesn't like him. She's trying to like him, but and I know that feeling, right? When you feel like I want to be attracted to somebody, especially when the stakes are this high, right? You really want to push yourself, but it's just not coming. And then you're scared to also now look like a Chris on camera, right?
She's a Chris.
Yeah, she's a Chris. She's just an undercover Chris, right? So that's a worry. She's scared about how she'll come across in this situation, right?
For me, she physically looks repulsed by every time she's around.
Right, her face does. She really does. She really does.
She looks like she wants to
at the night. I was like, Jacob, this is the problem. Before they went to bed, the last scene, when they were just by the kitchen, she was like, oh, good night, kiss. She said no. Then they got into bed. Then you're like, oh, any good night kiss or sexual caress? I was like, were you trying to be funny? This girl don't want you even.
I think he's trying to lighten the mood. So basically,
she wants
Dr. Viviana now basically said to them that you guys are in unromantic friend zone, right? And she says you're sleeping in 2 separate bedrooms,
right?
So in order for them to now start developing that intimacy, she was like, get back into one room, and I want you to start the exercise every morning and afternoon.
Like, oh, you guys want to grow a connection. She doesn't
give each other a kiss, good morning, good night. You know, to get them to develop that. So now when they tried it for the first night, as they were getting into bed, which is what Ollie was explaining, Jacob was like, kiss, cuddle, spooning. And she was just like,
She looks report. She looks like, if you touch me, I can literally. Hello. 911. It's about to rain me, honestly. Yeah, the truth of the matter is she doesn't find him attractive. And I think when the show started, she was like, I don't find him attractive, but she was open when they start to talk,
get to their
attractiveness. But everything since then has just driven her away from anything attractive. And
I just feel sorry for Jacob because
I feel sorry for Ailey.
No, because when she had a one-on-one with Dr. Viviana, she pulled up her questionnaire.
Yeah.
And then the questionnaire was where she reveals that she's very picky in relationships. And she picks the person apart.
But then she had a good response for that, which I totally couldn't understand.
Okay.
The only people she picks apart are even people that, at least when she's picking them apart, it starts from, I already like you. It's worse when you don't even like the person. They're already apart. There's no way to go from that. She's like, the people that she picks apart, she's already attracted to them, right? She just picks them apart like, I don't like this about you, and then she goes away from that. But with Jacob, she didn't even have that attractiveness. So she's struggling.
She don't like him.
She don't like him.
That's just it. That's what we can say.
It's not gonna happen. Yeah. Only if Jacob gets a whole personality transplant. And
no, but he shouldn't have to because there's somebody out there for him.
I totally agree with you.
He shouldn't have to change who he is. I mean, there's habits that you can work on, but your whole personality. No,
I
makes him.
She shouldn't have to. He shouldn't have to. But I think that's just the doom and gloom of this relationship.
Child, this was a filler episode. Yeah, all of the couples need therapy. They need Jesus. They need
even prayer. The people that look happy, they look fake happy. It's just like whatever. But yeah, in the next episode, things are about to unravel again, and y'all know what we're talking about. But guys, comment below
what you think.
What you think on the couple. Should you follow your ex? What is gonna look like?
Wait. Should you follow your ex? If it's a yes or no, and then if they come to you for life or death, in a life or death situation, should you be helpful? Okay. Or should you do a me? I don't know you.
You could be walking down the street and I wouldn't know who you are. But let us know what you think, and continue to like, continue to comment, continue to subscribe, and we'll catch you same location, same channel next week.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye. Sarah.